ردت علي.
كنت تفضل شيخ توي جيت.
ما شاء الله. طيب يلا بسم الله تبدأون. مضت دقيقتان. عبد الحكيم ready?
Okay, everyone ready? Akil, Tom, everyone's ready, yeah?
Yeah. Everyone is ready.
أيوة شيخنا من أين نبدأ؟
الشيخ زكريا أحب أن نبدأ من سورة النجم.
النجم.
نعم، وأنا اقترحت على أحمد رمضان غدا يقرأ من سورة مريم.
جميل.
We're good to go. We're live now. جزاك الله خير.
Right, okay. يلا بسم الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والنجم إذا هوى.
I seek refuge in Allah from Satan the outcast. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, by the star when it goes down.
ما ضل صاحبكم وما غوى.
Your companion Muhammad has neither gone astray nor has erred.
وما ينطق عن الهوى.
Nor does he speak of his own desire.
إن هو إلا وحي يوحى.
It is only a revelation revealed.
علمه شديد القوى.
He has been taught this Quran by one mighty in power.
ذو مرة فاستوى.
One free from any defect in body and mind. Then he, Gabriel, rose and became stable.
وهو بالأفق الأعلى.
While Gabriel was in the highest part of the horizon.
ثم دنا فتدلى.
Then he approached and came closer.
فكان قاب قوسين أو أدنى.
And was at a distance of 2 bows' length, or even nearer.
فأوحى إلى عبده ما أوحى.
So Allah revealed to his slave Muhammad whatever he revealed.
ما كذب الفؤاد ما رأى.
The Prophet's heart lied not in what he saw.
أفتمارونه على ما يرى.
Will you then dispute with him about what he saw during the ascension to the 7 heavens?
ولقد رآه نزلة أخرى عند سدرة المنتهى.
And indeed he, Muhammad, saw Gabriel at a second descent.
عندها جنة المأوى.
أستاذ عند سدرة المنتهى.
عند سدرة المنتهى.
Near a lote tree of the utmost boundary over the 7th heaven, beyond which none can pass.
عندها جنة المأوى.
Near it is the paradise of abode.
إذ يغشى السدرة ما يغشى ما زاغ البصر وما طغى.
When that covered the lote tree which did cover it, the sight of Prophet Muhammad turned not aside right nor left, nor it transgressed beyond the limit.
لقد رأى من آيات ربه الكبرى.
Indeed, he, Muhammad, did see of the greatest signs of his Lord.
أفرأيتم اللات والعزى.
Have you then considered Lat and Uzza, 2 idols of the pagan Arabs?
ومناة الثالثة الأخرى.
And Manat, another idol of the pagan Arabs, the other third.
ألكم الذكر وله الأنثى.
Is it for you the males and for him the females?
تلك إذا قسمة ضيزى.
That indeed is a division most unfair.
إن هي إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان إن يتبعون إلا الظن وما تهوى الأنفس ولقد جاءهم من ربهم الهدى.
They are but names which you have named, you and your fathers, for which Allah has sent down no authority. They follow but a guess, and that which they themselves desire, whereas there has surely come to them the guidance from their Lord.
أم للإنسان ما تمنى.
Or shall man have what he wishes?
فلله الآخرة والأولى.
But to Allah belongs the last, the hereafter, and the first, the worldly life.
وكم من ملك في السماوات لا تغني شفاعتهم شيئا لا تغني عنهم شفاعتهم شيئا إلا من بعد أن يأذن الله لمن يشاء ويرضى.
And there are many angels in the heavens whose ascension will avail nothing except after Allah has given leave for whom He wills and is pleased with.
إن الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة ليسمون الملائكة تسمية الأنثى.
Verily, those who believe not in the hereafter name the angels with female names.
وما لهم به من علم إن يتبعون إلا الظن وإن الظن لا يغني من الحق شيئا.
But they have no knowledge thereof. They follow but a guess, and verily guess is no substitute for the truth.
فأعرض عمن تولى عن ذكرنا ولم يرد إلا الحياة الدنيا.
Therefore withdraw, O Muhammad, from him who turns away from our reminder and desires nothing but the life of this world.
ذلك مبلغهم من العلم إن ربك هو أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بمن اهتدى.
That is what they could reach of knowledge. Verily, your Lord, it is He who knows best him who goes astray from his path, and He knows best him who receives guidance.
ولله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض ليجزي الذين أساءوا بما عملوا ويجزي الذين أحسنوا بالحسنى.
And to Allah belongs all that is in the heavens and all that is in the earth, that He may requite those who do evil with that which they have done, and reward those who do good with what is best.
الذين يجتنبون كبائر الإثم والفواحش إلا اللمم إن ربك واسع المغفرة هو أعلم بكم إذ أنشأكم من الأرض وإذ أنتم أجنة في بطون أمهاتكم فلا تزكوا أنفسكم هو أعلم بمن اتقى.
Those who avoid great sins and illegal sexual intercourse, except the small faults, verily your Lord is full of vast forgiveness. He knows you well when he created you from the earth and when you were fetuses in your mother's wombs. So ascribe not purity to yourselves. He knows best who fears Allah and keeps his duty to him.
أفرأيت الذي تولى وأعطى قليلا وأكدى.
Did you, O Muhammad, observe him who turned away from Islam and gave a little, then stopped giving?
أعنده علم الغيب فهو يرى.
Is with him the knowledge of the unseen, so that he sees?
أم لم ينبأ بما في صحف موسى وإبراهيم الذي وفى.
Or is he not informed with what is in the script pages of Moses and of Abraham, who fulfilled or conveyed all that Allah ordered them to?
ألا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى.
That no burdened person shall bear the burden of another.
وأن ليس للإنسان إلا ما سعى وأن سعيه سوف يرى.
And that man can have nothing but what he does, and that his deeds will be seen.
ثم يجزاه الجزاء الأوفى.
Then he will be recompensed with a full and the best recompense.
وأن إلى ربك المنتهى.
And that to your Lord Allah is the end and return of everything.
وأنه هو أضحك وأبكى.
And that it is He, Allah, who makes whom He wills laugh and makes whom He wills weep.
وأنه هو أمات وأحيا.
And that it is He who causes death and gives life.
وأنه خلق الزوجين الذكر والأنثى.
And that He creates the pairs, male and female.
من نطفة إذا تمنى.
From mixed drops of male and female discharge when it is emitted.
وأن عليه النشأة الأخرى.
And that upon him, Allah, is another bringing forth, a resurrection.
وأنه هو أغنى وأقنى.
And that it is He who gives much or a little of wealth and contentment.
وأنه هو رب الشعرى.
And that He, Allah, is the Lord of Sirius, the star which the pagan Arabs used to worship.
وأنه أهلك عادا الأولى وثمود فما أبقى.
And that it is He who destroyed the former nation Ad and the people of Thamud. He spared none of them.
وقوم نوح من قبل إنهم كانوا هم أظلم وأطغى.
And the people of Noah aforetime, verily they were more unjust and more rebellious and transgressing.
والمؤتفكة أهوى فغشاها ما غشا.
And he destroyed the overthrown cities of Lot, so there covered them that which did cover them.
فبأي آلاء ربك تتمارى.
Then which of the graces of your Lord, O mankind, will you doubt?
هذا نذير من النذر الأولى.
This, i.e. Muhammad, is a warner of the series of warners of old.
أزفت الآزفة.
The day of resurrection draws near.
ليس لها من دون الله كاشفة.
None besides Allah can avert it.
أفمن هذا الحديث تعجبون.
Do you then wonder at this recitation?
وتضحكون ولا تبكون.
And you laugh at it and weep not?
وأنتم سامدون.
Wasting your precious lifetime in pastimes and amusements?
فاسجدوا لله واعبدوا.
So fall down in prostration to Allah and worship Him alone.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر.
In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The hour has drawn near, and the moon has been cleft asunder.
وإن يروا آية يعرضوا ويقولوا سحر مستمر.
And if they see a sign, they turn away and say, "This is continuous magic."
وكذبوا واتبعوا أهواءهم وكل أمر مستقر.
They denied the verses of Allah and followed their own lusts, and every matter will be settled according to the kinds of deeds. Good deeds will take their doers to paradise, and evil deeds will take their doers to hell.
ولقد جاءهم من الأنباء ما فيه مزدجر.
And indeed there has come to them news in this Quran, wherein there is enough warning to check them from evil.
حكمة بالغة فما تغني النذر.
Perfect wisdom, this Quran, but the preaching of warners benefits them not.
فتول عنهم يوم يدعو الداعي إلى شيء نكر.
So, O Muhammad, withdraw from them, the day that the caller will call them to a terrible thing.
خش عن أبصارهم يخرجون من الأجداث كأنهم جراد منتشر.
They will come forth with humbled eyes from their graves, as if there were locusts spread abroad.
مهطعين إلى الداع يقول الكافرون هذا يوم عسير.
Hastening towards the caller, the disbelievers will say, "This is a hard day."
كذبت قبلهم قوم نوح فكذبوا عبدنا وقالوا مجنون وازدجر.
The people of Noah denied their messenger before them. They rejected our slave and said, a madman, and he was insolently rebuked and threatened.
فدعا ربه أني مغلوب فانتصر.
Then he invoked his Lord, saying, I have become overcome, so help me.
ففتحنا أبواب السماء بماء منهمر.
So we opened the gates of the heaven with water pouring forth.
وفجرنا الأرض عيونا فالتقى الماء على أمر قد قدر.
And we caused springs to gush forth from the earth. So the waters of the heaven and the earth met for a matter predestined.
وحملناه على ذات ألواح ودسر.
And we carried him on a ship made of planks and nails.
تجري بأعيننا جزاء لمن كان كفر.
Floating under our eyes, a reward for him who had been rejected.
ولقد تركناها آية فهل من مدكر.
And indeed, we have left this as a sign. Then is there any that will remember or receive admonition?
فكيف كان عذابي ونذر.
Then how terrible was my torment and my warnings.
ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر.
And we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then is there anyone who will remember?
كذبت عاد فكيف كان عذابي ونذر.
The people of Ad denied their prophet. Then how terrible was my torment and my warnings.
إنا أرسلنا عليهم ريحا صرصرا في يوم نحس مستمر.
Verily, we sent against them a furious wind of harsh voice on a day of evil omen and continuous calamity.
تنزع الناس كأنهم أعجاز نخل منقعر.
Plucking out men as if they were uprooted stems of date palms.
فكيف كان عذابي ونذر.
Then how terrible was my torment and my warnings.
ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر.
And we have indeed made the Quran easy to remember, to understand and remember. Then is there any that will remember or receive admonition?
كذبت ثمود بالنذر فقالوا أبشرا منا واحدا نتبعه إنا إذا لفي ضلال وسعر.
The people of Thamud denied the warnings, and they said, a man alone amongst us, shall we follow him? Truly then we should be in error and distress.
ألقي الذكر عليه من بيننا بل هو كذاب أشر.
Is it that the reminder is sent to him alone from among us? Nay, he is an insolent liar.
سيعلمون غدا من الكذاب الأشر.
Tomorrow they will come to know who is the liar, the insolent one.
إنا مرسل الناقة فتنة لهم فارتقبهم واصطبر.
Verily, we are sending the she-camel as a test for them, so watch them and be patient.
ونبئهم أن الماء قسمة بينهم كل شرب محتضر.
And inform them that the water is to be shared between her and them, each one's right to drink being established by turns.
فنادوا صاحبهم فتعاطى فعقر.
But they called their comrade, and he took a sword and killed her.
فكيف كان عذابي ونذر.
Then how terrible was my torment and my warnings.
إنا أرسلنا عليهم صيحة واحدة فكانوا كهشيم المحتضر.
Verily, we sent against them a single torment, an awful cry, and they became like the stubble of a fold builder.
ولقد يسرنا القرآن للذكر فهل من مدكر.
And indeed, we have made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then is there anyone that will remember or receive admonition?
كذبت قوم لوط بالنذر.
The people of Lot denied the warnings.
إنا أرسلنا عليهم حاصبا إلا آل لوط نجيناهم بسحر.
Verily, we sent against them a violent storm of stones which destroyed them all, except the family of Lot. Them we saved in the last hour of the night.
نعمة من عندنا كذلك نجزي من شكر.
As a favor from us, thus do we reward him who gives thanks by obeying us.
جزاكم الله خير شيخ زكريا،
وياكم.
حفظكم الله وبارك فيكم على القراءة الماتعة والاختيار الطيب لهذه السورة العظيمة. وكل سورة قرآن عظيم، غير أن ما فيها من إشارات ودلالات هامة جدا، خاصة في هذا الظرف. حفظك الله وبارك فيك، وهذا يدل على فقه عظيم حفظك الله وزادك من فضله.
آمين يا رب، الله يسلمك.
آمين.
شيخ عقيل، الآن عندنا إن شاء الله الموضوع عن زكاة الفطر، وعنوانها يكون زكاة الفطر في فقه زكاة الفطر في زمن الكورونا.
أيوة إن شاء الله.
نبدأ إن شاء الله.
أيوة بسم الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن استنى بسنته واهتدى بهديه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، حياكم الله أيها الإخوة والأخوات إلى هذا اللقاء 27 في شهر رمضان، أو نعم اللقاء 27 في رمضان، ونحن في هذه الليلة، ليلة 27 هنا في مدينة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. وربما يكون الوقت باق نهارا عندكم وفي أرجاء أخرى من اليوم 26. نسأل الله عز وجل أن يجعلنا فيها ممن وفق لقيام ليلة القدر إيمانا واحتسابا، وأن يجعل لنا فيها أعظم نصيب من كل ما كتبه من خير لعباده المؤمنين وأوليائه الصالحين، وأن يعفو عنا جميع ما تقدم من ذنوبنا وزلاتنا، وأن يجعلنا فيها مباركين وبعدها من الصالحين أبدا حتى يتوفانا وهو عنا راض. نعم.
In the name of Allah, and may peace and salutations be upon the Prophet and upon his family and companions and those who take his path as a path to be traversed to the day of resurrection. The topic of today's lecture will be the charity, the obligatory charity that's given following Ramadan, the Sadaqat al-Fitr, the charity of breaking the fast, and the way in which it's to be given during the times of Corona, during this lockdown period. So I welcome you and I ask Allah to give you the glad tidings and a good welcoming to this gathering of ours, which is the 27th that we have, in the 27th of Ramadan. And we say this because we are speaking and we are in Medina, the city of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. And over here, it is the 27th night. And it might be the case that where you are listening, that you are still in the daytime of the 26th of Ramadan. And I ask Allah to give us the success to be of those who stand the night of power, having faith and expecting his reward. And I ask him to make great our rewards and to make our rewards that which is befitting of the believers. I ask him to forgive us all of our sins and to make us righteous to the end.
نعم. حديثنا عن زكاة الفطر سيكون حول 10 محاور.
So our discussion of this charity, the obligatory Zakat al-Fitr. Tom, I hope it's okay. I will call it Zakat if that's okay. The Zakat al-Fitr. It will be in 10 points.
أما المحور الأول فهو حول معنى كلمة زكاة الفطر.
The first point is about the meaning of this term, the Zakat al-Fitr, the charity of the breaking of the fast.
وهو اسم مركب من جزئين زكاة وفطر ولكل منهما معنى.
It's a term that consists of two terms in itself, which bring about a meaning.
أما الزكاة فهي في اللغة النماء والزيادة والطهارة.
As for the first of these terminologies, the zakah, this in English we would translate this as charity, but in Arabic its root comes from the meaning of purification and an increase.
وفي الاصطلاح هي حق واجب في مال مخصوص لطائفة مخصوصة في وقت مخصوص.
And in the terminology of the Islamic legislation, so in Islamic law, the meaning of this charity is an obligatory right of a specific sum of wealth that's payable to a specific cohort of people, and it's due at a specific time.
وأما الفطر فهو كما قال ابن قتيبة مأخوذ من الفطرة التي قال الله عز وجل عنها فطرة الله التي فطر الناس عليها، أي جبلته التي جبل الناس عليها، طبيعتهم، ويراد أنها صدقة عن البدن والنفس، كما أن الزكاة العامة هي صدقة عن المال.
And as for the second of these terminologies, fitr, then linguistically this is explained as was said by Ibn Qutayba, one of the scholars of Islam. It's taken from the terminology al-fitra, which means the natural way or the natural inclination, the natural disposition that a person is upon, or the natural disposition that Allah creates for the individual. So this is a charity that's payable upon people and themselves, whereas zakah, charity in a general sense, it's a payment that's payable upon wealth, not upon people and selves.
وعلاقة زكاة الفطر برمضان وليست بالصيام، ولذلك ليس كل من صام لزمه زكاة فطره، ولا كل من أفطر في رمضان لم تجب عليه زكاة الفطر، بل إن من وجد حيا في رمضان حتى غروب شمس آخر يوم لزمه إخراج زكاة الفطر، وإن كان قد تخلل رمضان أياما لم يصم فيها لمرض أو سفر أو امرأة لحيض أو نفاس أو ما إلى ذلك من أعذار.
And this charity, it's payable and it's connected to the month of Ramadan. It's not something that is connected to the act of fasting. So it's not the case that if an individual doesn't fast Ramadan, that this charity isn't payable in their right. And it's not the case that if a person missed certain days in Ramadan fasting, that they do not have to pay this charity. Rather, whosoever is alive and has breath in their body, when the sun goes down on the last day of Ramadan, then this charity becomes obligatory upon them. And as we have said, even if it's the case that they didn't fast the month in its entirety, due to them being sick, or due to them being a woman who had her menses, or due to them traveling, or other than this, from the legitimate excuses for not fasting.
وصدقة الفطر واجبة بنص القرآن والسنة.
And it's obligatory as indicated by the explicit texts of the Quran and that which has been reported in the example of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him.
قال تعالى قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى. قال جمع من السلف كسعيد بن المسيب وعمر بن عبد العزيز قوله تعالى قد أفلح من تزكى هي زكاة الفطر.
So Allah says, indeed, they have been successful, those who قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى, those who give in charity and remember the name of their Lord and pray. A group of the scholars have said, and amongst them Umar ibn Abdul Aziz, they have said that the indication of this charity here is this charity, the charity that's given after the month of Ramadan.
وقالوا ذكر اسم ربه ذلك بالتكبير ليلة العيد وصباح العيد وصلى أي صلاة العيد.
And they mention that in the verse where Allah says, and those who mention the name of their Lord, this is the saying Allah is the greatest on the nights of Eid, on the night of Eid, and then the reference to praying in the verse is a reference to the Eid prayer.
ومن السنة ما ثبت عند مسلم من حديث عبد الله بن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنهما أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فرض زكاة الفطر من رمضان على الناس صاعا من تمر أو صاعا من شعير على كل حر أو عبد ذكر أو أنثى من المسلمين.
And it's been authentically reported by Imam Muslim in the Sunnah, the example of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them both, who said the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he made this charity obligatory upon the people, a measure of dates or a measure of wheat, and this was made obligatory upon every free and every slave, every male and every female. It was made obligatory upon everyone.
وأما فرضية هذه العبادة فإنها فرضت مع فرض رمضان في السنة الثانية من الهجرة، كما ذكر ذلك ابن مفلح في كتابه المبدع بشرح المقنع.
As for when this was made obligatory, then it was made obligatory with the obligation of fasting, Ramadan, and that was in the second year after the migration of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, as has been mentioned by Ibn Muflih in his book Al-Mubdi' بشرح المقنع.
والحكمة من فرض زكاة الفطر هي كما جاء في الحديث عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما: طهرة للصائم وطعمة للمساكين.
And the wisdom behind its being given is, as Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them both, said, it's a purification for the one who fasts, and it's a means of feeding the poor.
وقال وكيع بن الجراح: زكاة الفطر لرمضان كسجود السهو للصلاة، تجبر نقصان الصوم كما يجبر السجود نقصان الصلاة.
So Waki' ibn Jarrah, one of the scholars, he made an example of the charity of Ramadan by saying that it's the equivalent of the prostration of forgetfulness in the prayer, because the prostration of forgetfulness is a prostration that's made to make up for a deficiency that one has made or an error that one has made during their prayer. Likewise, this charity is payable to make up for a deficiency that we have in the execution of our fasting.
وأما عن وقت إخراجها فلها وقتان: وقت فضيلة ووقت جواز.
As for the time in which it should be given, then it has two times. It has a time that is the best time that's recommended, and it has a time where it is merely acceptable.
أما الوقت الذي هو وقت الجواز فهو قبل يوم العيد بيوم أو يومين، لما جاء من حديث عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال: كانوا يعطون قبل الفطر بيوم أو يومين.
As for the time in which it's acceptable, this is a day or 2 days before the day of Eid. And this is due to the narration where Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them both, said, indeed, the people used to give this charity a day or 2 days before the Eid prayer.
وأما وقت الفضيلة فهو بعد صلاة الفجر من يوم العيد إلى صلاة العيد، وذلك لما جاء في صحيح البخاري عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما قال أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أمر بزكاة الفطر قبل خروج الناس إلى الصلاة، أي إلى صلاة العيد.
As for the best time in which it can be given, then this is after the Fajr prayer on the day of Eid until the time of the Eid prayer. So this is something that's been reported by Imam al-Bukhari on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar, who said that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, he ordered the people to give their zakah, to give their charity of Ramadan after the Fajr prayer until the time of the Eid prayer on the day of Eid.
وأما من تجب عليهم زكاة الفطر فهم من يجب عليهم صوم رمضان.
As for who it's payable upon those who are obliged to fast the month of Ramadan.
ويضاف إليهم من يستحب في حقه الصوم ممن لا يجب عليه كالصغار.
And in addition to this, we add those people for whom it's recommended that they fast, not obligatory for them to fast in Ramadan, like children.
ويخرج بذلك غير المسلم لأنه لا يجب عليه، والمجنون فاقد العقل لأنه لا يجب عليه.
And out from this definition, we do not include those who are not Muslim, nor those who do not have sound mind.
وذلك لحديث عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنهما المخرج عند مسلم في الصحيح أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فرض زكاة الفطر من رمضان على الناس صاعا من تمر أو صاعا من شعير أو قال صاعا من تمر أو صاعا من شعير على كل حر أو عبد ذكر أو أنثى من المسلمين.
And this is due to the narration collected by Imam Muslim on the authority of Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them both, where he said, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, made it obligatory for the people to give the charity of Ramadan a measure of dates or a measure of barley, of wheat, upon every slave and everyone that was free, whether they would be male or female, from the Muslims. And this is the evidence here from the Muslims.
وفي المحلى لابن حزم الأندلسي قال رحمه الله زكاة الفطر من رمضان فرض واجب على كل مسلم كبير أو صغير ذكر أو أنثى حر أو عبد.
And in his book Al-Muhalla, Ibn Hazm Al-Andalusi, he mentioned that this type of charity, it's something that's obligatory upon every Muslim, young and old, free or a slave, male or female.
وأدخل بعض أهل العلم الجنين في بطن أمه كما فعل ذلك عثمان رضي الله تعالى عنه.
And some of the people of knowledge, they enter under those for whom it's obligatory. They enter the fetus, the embryo in the mother's womb, due to what Uthman did. He gave this verdict that it should be paid upon them as well.
لكنهم جعلوا ذلك من باب الاستحباب لا من باب الوجوب.
However, they understood this to be an action that was recommended, not an obligatory action.
وأيضا نقل ذلك عن جمع من أهل العلم كما نقل عن ابن المنذر أو نقل ابن المنذر الإجماع في ذلك، نقل الإجماع في ذلك فقال وأجمعوا على أن لا زكاة، أو ابن المنذر نفى أن يكون الزكاة على الجنين وجوبا، قال وأجمعوا على أن لا زكاة على الجنين في بطن أمه، يعني وجوبا.
And Ibn Munzir, he has mentioned the consensus of the scholars that the payment of this charity is not obligatory upon the fetus. He mentioned it wasn't obligatory by consensus.
وقال الشوكاني أيضا في نيل الأوطار نقل ابن المنذر الإجماع على أنها لا تجب على الجنين، وكان أحمد يستحبه ولا يوجبه.
And Ash-Shawkani, he mentioned in his book of Islamic jurisprudence, Nail al-Awtar, he mentioned the fact that Ibn Munzir mentioned that the scholars had consensus that it wasn't something that was obligatory upon the fetus. And he mentioned, i.e. Ash-Shawkani then mentioned, and Imam Ahmad, he used to say that it was something that was recommended, not obligatory.
وأما ما يخرج منه أو ما تخرج منه الأصناف التي تخرج منها الزكاة فقد بينها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ثم أيضا تكلم عليه العلماء. قد جاء في حديث أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله تعالى عنه المخرج عند مسلم أنه قال كنا نخرج زكاة الفطر صاعا من طعام أو صاعا من شعير أو صاعا من تمر أو صاعا من أقط أو صاعا من زبيب. فهذه الأصناف التي كانوا يخرجونها في زمانهم في المدينة.
And then the type, the manner in which this charity would be given. This was explained by the Prophet and it was also explained or has been explained by the scholars. It's been reported by Imam Muslim in his book on the authority of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, who said, we used to give the charity at the time of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, a measure of food, a measure of wheat, a measure of dates, a measure of barley, a measure of a type of cheese, and a measure of raisins. So these 5 categories, these are the types of wealth or the types of charity that's to be given. It's to be given in foodstuffs.
لكن أهل العلم ذكروا أن هذا ما كان قوت أهل المدينة، فإذا اختلف القوت في بلد ما أو في زمن ما فإنما يخرج من غالب قوت أو من قوت غالب أهل البلد، كما قال ابن القيم في كتاب إعلام الموقعين.
However, the scholars have said that these 5 categories of, or these 5 types of food that have been mentioned, these were mentioned because there were the staples and the food of the people of Medina at that time, and that it's permissible to give this charity in the form of the staple, the well-known staple of any given place, or of the given place in which one lives. And this was mentioned by the scholar Ibn al-Qayyim in his book إعلام الموقعين.
وكذلك قال شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله تعالى في الفتاوى في المجلد 25 الصحيفة 68 قال ما نصه: أما إذا كان أهل البلد يقتاتون أحد هذه الأصناف جاز الإخراج من قوتهم بلا ريب، وهل لهم أن يخرجوا ما يقتاتون من غيرها، مثل أن يكونوا يقتاتون الأرز أو الدخن فهل عليهم أن يخرجوا حنطة أو شعيرا أو يجزئهم الأرز والدخن والذرة؟ قال فيه نزاع مشهور وهما روايتان عن أحمد، إحداهما لا يخرج إلا المنصوص والأخرى يخرج ما يقتاته. لعلك تترجم أو أعيد.
I will ترجم inshallah. And this was mentioned and explained by the scholar of Islam, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, who mentioned in his book, his Book of Religious Verdicts, volume 25, page 68, he mentioned this matter and he said that if the people of a particular place, if they have as staples one of these 5 types of food stuff that have been mentioned, then this charity is to be given and there is no harm in it. However, if they have different food types and different foodstuffs as their staples, for example, like rice or other than it, then there is difference of opinion with the scholars as relates to the legitimacy of giving it in a different way. So on Imam Ahmad, there are 2 narrations. There is one where he says that it must be restricted to these 5 types of foodstuffs. وشيخنا هل أخذنا الرواية الثانية عن أحمد أو ليس بعد؟
نعم، قلنا الثانية أنه يخرج مما يقتاته الناس.
And the second narration on Imam Ahmad is that it's permitted to be paid from the staple of the people, from the staples that they eat, the people. It's permissible.
وإن لم يكن من هذه الأصناف يقول شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية.
And even if it's not from one of these 5 types. This is what Ibn Taymiyyah said.
وقال ابن القيم في إعلام الموقعين قال فإن كان قوت من غير الحبوب كاللبن واللحم والسمك أخرجوا فطرتهم من قوتهم كائنا ما كان. هذا قول جمهور العلماء وهو الصواب الذي لا يقال بغيره.
And the scholar Ibn al-Qayyim, he mentions in his book I'lam al-Muwaqqi'in, and then if their staple and if their food is something other than grain or barley, etc., then, for example, if it's milk or if it's meat or fish, then it can be given in this manner, i.e. it can be given as meat or fish or milk.
وبهذا أيضا قال من علماء عصرنا العلامة عبد العزيز بن باز والفقيه الشيخ محمد بن عثيمين.
And this was the opinion of some of the greatest scholars of our age, the eminent scholar Abdulaziz ibn Baz, may Allah have mercy upon him, and the scholar of Islamic jurisprudence, Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymin, may Allah have mercy upon him.
وأما مقدار زكاة الفطر فقد ذكرها النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كما في حديث أبي سعيد الخدري بأنها صاع من طعام، صاع كذا، فهي الصاع. نعم.
وشيخنا هل أترجم الصاع ب3 كيلو؟
سنشرح ما هو الصاع الآن، سنشرح أو أستمر أشرح. الصاع مكيال يكال به وهو 4 أمداد، والمد هو مقدار بأن يمد الرجل يديه فيملأ فيهما، يملأ كفيه طعاما. هل ترى صورة يدي؟
أيوة.
ولعل توم يمكن يرى.
look at what the Sheikh's doing.
هكذا، يعني هكذا إذا ملأ يديه الاثنين هكذا 4 مرات تكون صاعا، بشرط أن يكون الرجل معتدل القامة، ليست يده صغيرة ولا جدا ضخمة، معتدلة مثل أكثر الناس.
And now we go and we look into the amount of this food stuff that is to be given in charity. And this was explained in the hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, reported by Imam Muslim, where he said, indeed, we used to give a measure, and this was called a sa'. Now, what does this mean? We'll explore this now. This is a measure that consists of 4 handfuls. And did you see, Tom, how the Sheikh, he extended his hands? Each of these handfuls would be 1. So 4 of these would equal to a measure that was to be given. And this measure, i.e. the handfuls, these are to be taken of a man who has average hand size. So not someone who has very small hands, nor someone who has very large hands.
وأما من يخرج عنهم الرجل زكاته فأولا يخرج عن نفسه وعن كل من تجب عليه نفقته، كما قال الإمام أحمد رحمه الله تعالى فيما رواه عنه ابن عبد الله في مسائله، قال سئل الإمام أحمد رحمه الله عن زكاة الفطر فقال كل من تجري عليه نفقتك، وقال أيضا تجب على الحر والعبد وولد الرجل وامرأته وكل من يعوله وتجب نفقته عليه. يعني إذا وجبت نفقة هذا الإنسان عليك شرعا لازمك أن تخرج عنه زكاة الفطر.
And then we go and look into who should the charity be given for, or on whose behalf it should be paid for. So the individual, the man, he should pay for this for himself, and then every person for whom he is financially responsible. And Imam Ahmad, as it was reported by his son Abdullah in his book Al-Masail, the questions that were that he asked his father, he asked who is this charity payable upon? And he mentioned it's payable upon everyone for whom the man is financially responsible. So in the Islamic legislation, it's obligatory to pay this on behalf of everyone you support financially.
وأما من تجب أو من يعطى زكاة الفطر فاختلف العلماء هل هم الأصناف الثمانية الذين تجب لهم زكاة الأموال أم دون ذلك. الصحيح أنه ليست كل من تجب له زكاة الأموال تجب له زكاة الفطر، وإنما هي مقصورة على الفقراء والمساكين. نعم.
And then the scholars have difference of opinion and interpretation of who this charity can be given to. Is it only givable, or is it only payable to the 8 people or the 8 categories of people for whom the broader charity, the broader obligatory charity zakah is payable to, or is it a more specific group? And the most correct opinion is that it's payable only to 2 of these groups, or 2 of these types from amongst this wider group, the poor and the destitute.
قال ابن القيم في زاد المعاد المجلد الثاني الصحيفة 22: وكان من هديه صلى الله عليه وسلم تخصيص المساكين بهذه الصدقة، ولم يكن يقسمها على الأصناف الثمانية، ولا أمر بذلك، ولا فعله أحد من أصحابه ولا من بعدهم.
And Ibn al-Qayyim, he mentions in his book Zad al-Ma'ad, in the 2nd volume, he mentions it was from the guidance of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, to distribute this charity amongst the poor. And he would never give it to the people from the 8 categories of the wider charity that's given. And nor did he instruct anyone to give it to these 8 categories, nor did any of the companions do so after him.
ولا تخرج زكاة الفطر نقدا على القول الصحيح الراجح من أقوال أهل العلم.
And this charity, it's not to be payable in monetary terms. And this is the correct stance of the people of knowledge.
ذكر الإمام النووي رحمه الله تعالى ذلك في كتابه المجموع شرح المهذب فقال نعم.
And this was something mentioned by the Imam al-Nawawi in his book al-Mujmu', the explanation of al-Muhadhab.
في المجلد السادس الصحيفة 67.
Volume 6, page 67.
قال لا تجزئ القيمة في الفطرة عندنا، وبه قال مالك وأحمد وابن المنذر.
Malik wa Ahmad wa Ibn Mundhir rahimahullah.
نعم.
He mentioned in this volume, it's not sufficient, or it doesn't fulfill the requirements to pay this in a monetary sense. And this was the opinion of Imam Malik, Imam Ahmad, and Imam Ibn Mundhir.
وأما عن نقلها في غير البلد الذي يكون فيه المزكي، وهذا هو الذي نريد الوصول إليه في زمن الكورونا، لأن الناس الآن في إغلاق في أوطانهم، قد لا يتأتى لهم الخروج لإعطاء المساكين أو الخروج لشراء الصدقة. فهل يجوز نقل زكاة الفطر إلى بلد غير البلد الذي يقيم فيه المزكي؟ هذا سؤال يجاب عنه الآن.
And then the question arises, is it permissible to distribute this food to other than the people of the township or the city in which you live? And this is something that's come about, and its importance has really come to the fore at this times of lockdown and during the times of the coronavirus. And this is because the people aren't free to move about. It's possible that they might not be able to go and buy this food, and it's possible that they might not be able to go and distribute this food. So what do we do? This is what we're going to explore now. Is it in this circumstance? Is it permissible to give it as money? What do we do?
الصحيح أنها لا تخرج نقودا للفقير، وإنما يصح أن يعطي المزكي أحدا ينوب عنه ليشتري عنه الطعام في بلده أو في البلد الآخر ويسلمها إلى الفقير.
And what's correct is that it should not be given in monetary terms. Rather, if one is able to, they should appoint someone as not a substitute, as an appointed individual to distribute it and give it on their behalf.
قال ابن المنير رحمه الله في فتح الباري، قال اختار البخاري رحمه الله جواز نقل الزكاة من بلد المال لعموم قوله صلى الله عليه وسلم لمعاذ حين بعثه إلى اليمن، فأخبرهم أن الله قد فرض عليهم صدقة تؤخذ من أغنيائهم فترد على فقرائهم. قال فقرائهم الضمير يعود على المسلمين عموما، فأي فقير منهم ردت فيه الصدقة في أي جهة كان، أي في أي بلد كان، فقد وافق عموم الحديث.
And Ibn Munir, he mentions, as has been mentioned in the explanation of Sahih al-Bukhari, Fath al-Bari, that the opinion of Imam al-Bukhari was the permissibility of transporting this type of charity due to the statement of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, when he instructed Mu'adh to take the charity from the people there and to give it and to distribute it to its people. And here the pronoun to just distribute it to its people there, the pronoun here refers to the Muslims, and it refers to the Muslims in a general sense applicable to wherever they may be.
وقال الشيخ ابن عثيمين في شرح الممتع في المجلد السادس صحيفة 210، قال فالحاجة مثل ما لو كان البلد البعيد أهله أشد فقرا، ما لو كان البلد البعيد أهله أشد فقرا، والمصلحة مثل أن يكون لصاحب الزكاة أقارب فقراء في بلد بعيد يساوون فقراء بلده في الحاجة، فإن دفعها إلى أقاربه حصلت المصلحة وهي صدقة وصلة رحم. أو أن يكون مثلا في بلد بعيد طلاب علم حاجتهم مساوية لحاجة فقراء بلده، فهنا يدفعها إلى طلاب العلم في ذلك البلد البعيد، يكون فيها مصلحة أكثر، يتفرغوا لطلب العلم. نعم.
And it was also mentioned by the Sheikh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaymin in his book Al-Sharh al-Mumti', the sixth volume, page 210, that if there is a need, so for example, if the people of a distant land are in greater need, i.e. they're more destitute, and for example, if again they are of greater need, and for example they are your relatives, then it may be sent. And in doing so, there are two actions of goodness within this. Firstly, the giving of it as charity, and the second, the maintenance of good ties of kinship with your family. Or it may be the case that they are destitute and they're in greater need, but they are students of Islamic knowledge. So in giving them this food and this wealth, there is a greater benefit, because firstly, again, they are in greater need, and secondly, it will help them and enable them to seek Islamic knowledge.
لكن ينبغي أن يوضح أن النائب لا يحق له أن يأخذ من مال من زكاة الفطر شيئا إلا إن كان هو ذاته فقير. أما إن كان تطوع بالإنابة أو أراد أجرة فإنه يأخذ أجرة من المزكي غير مال الزكاة، لا يأخذ من صدقة الفطر شيئا وإنما يؤديها كاملة للفقير.
And it should be mentioned that this person who has been appointed to give this wealth on the behalf of others, they should not take and they cannot take any of this charity as payment or as recompense for their work. They can only take some of this wealth if they themselves are poor and as a result are eligible to receive this charity. They may receive some recompense or some payment for the distribution, but this payment must not come from the wealth that they take as charity for this for Ramadan. Rather, the charity that's given should be given in its totality, fully.
وأخيرا نقول يجوز أن تدفع صدقة الرجل الواحد إلى أكثر من فقير توزع عليهم، ويجوز أن تدفع صدقات العدد من الناس إلى فقير واحد، كما ذكر ذلك شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية في مجموع الفتاوى بالمجلد 25 الصحيفة 73.
And then finally, we'll mention that it's permissible to give the charity of one person to many different individuals, and it's permissible to give the charity of many individuals to one person. And this is something that's been mentioned by Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah in his Religious Verdicts, volume 25, page 73.
ولعلنا نختم هنا ونتوقف، وإن شاء الله يوم غد يكون موضوعنا هو عن أحكام صلاة العيد في زمن الكورونا بإذن الله تعالى. وعافانا الله وإياكم من الكورونا ومن جميع الأسقام.
Amen. And we will stop with this. And we will stop with this here today and continue with our lecture tomorrow, describing how we should pray during this time of Corona. May Allah give us deliverance from Corona and may He maintain our health.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
جزاكم الله خير شيخنا. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
We have
وبركاته.
enough time to answer a question.
I have another talk now. Sorry. If you want, we can come back.
Okay, I'll save the questions for tomorrow. It's just that
All right.
Some questions regarding to the topic. So inshallah, I'll save them for tomorrow, inshallah.
What we're gonna do is that tomorrow we start from 9 until 9:30 the talk, and then we give the 45 minutes or like that for the questions.
Okay, 9 in your time, but over here you mean 7.
Sorry, 7, yeah, 7 your time, yeah.
Okay, inshallah. Okay, jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
جزاكم الله خير. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Zaki, jazakallah khair. Tom, thank you very much.
وإياك.
Abdul Hakim,
Thank you, Tom.
I hope you're not stuck at the side of a road. Jazakallah khair.
جزاكم الله خير.
And to our listeners as well, jazakallah khair. May Allah reward you. May Allah, may He open your hearts on this night. Please do like the video, do follow us, and do mention us, because this is a service that's helping lots of people who are deserving of the help, and there are many services like this, so do support us.
Okay, jazakallah.
Wa yakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.